Yaroslav Askarov, he requested a trade away from the Nashville Predators. I know what some people might be thinking. I have my own thoughts. We're going to get into that. I'm usually on the front office's side on these things, which you've probably noticed that over the years. Like, I'm usually on the front office side of things when it comes to this stuff. I'm actually on the player side of things when it comes to this one, because at the end of the day, this is a baseball 40-man roster problem in the NHL. And let me explain it. So here's what happened. The Nashville Predators, they signed UC Saros to a big contract extension. And then in free agency, they signed Scott Wedgwood. So they have their goaltending duo. So what they're basically saying is, Askarov, you're going back to the minors. He don't want to go back to the minors. If you wanted Askarov, he had to be your, at least at minimum, he had to be your backup goalie this year. And again, I wrote this. You can go read this. Go check this link. The moment they extended Saros and brought in Wedgwood, this puppy was done. Like, this puppy was done. And again, I understand why Nashville wanted to go the route that they did, right? They said, look, we got a great goaltending depth. We can sign Saros. We'll sign Wedgwood. We got Askarov in the minors. And then if one of our top two guys get hurt, we have a capable guy, and we're going to have great goaltending all year. But you got to manage your roster. Like, what is going to happen to them is the same thing that happened with Broberg and Holloway. Because you didn't take care of the young player early, you're going to lose them late. And then you're going to suffer the consequences for it. Which, if you didn't blow all your money in free agency like an asshole, this would have been taken care of. But be that as it may. So he's waiver exempt this year and next year, so they can keep setting him down, which is why the team thinks they have leverage, which is why they talked themselves into signing Wedgwood for the 2-year contract. Again, I know why they did what they did. But again, you can click this link. As I said, the moment you did all this stuff, this was going to come back to bite you. Let's continue. So he's got decent numbers in the minors. From former first-round pick, 11th overall pick. He's 22 years old. This guy needs NHL minutes. Like, it's time. Just like Broberg last year. Like, Broberg should have been in the NHL all year. The fact that he was in the minors for that long last year is crazy. But anyway, let me get to this part. So this is why the player has leverage. Because maybe this Broberg thing, which, again, if I was an NHL GM, I'd be fucking sending offer sheets all the time. I'd be a prick. Jason Robertson would have gotten one. Kachuk would have gotten one. Like, and that all this stuff's on record. You can go search it on the site. Search bar works again. And then, so look, this is why the player has leverage. He's an RFA next year. You got 1 year to figure this out in Nashville, which is why they should have figured it out before a free agency, but they didn't have the foresight to do it correctly. He should have been traded before you signed Wedgwood. That's when he had the most leverage. Now you have limited leverage. When it comes to his contract status, he's an RFA. You don't have to agree to a contract with Nashville. He can sign an offer sheet somewhere that they can't match. And by the way, because they blew all their fucking money this year, they ain't going to be able to match one. If you go to their cap sheet, they ain't got no money now. Which this isn't. Let's try Puck PD again. Let's hope it works. Let's hope it works. Nope. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, we tried. Anyway, they signed Stamkos, Shea, Marchessault. They blew all their money this offseason, right? Finally. But if we go, let's just go back to his contract, I guess. Like, same thing's going to happen here with Broberg. If you don't take care of this now, they have to trade him. I don't see any way around it. They have to trade him. Like, they have to trade him. What are you going to do? He's not going to report. And then say, oh, we'll be pricks. We'll find him. You know, like, okay. What's he losing? $900,000? By the time you get over it, you'll find a deal. So, look, they're going to have to trade Askarov. I don't know who would possibly line up in a deal. That part remains to be seen. I don't know what Nashville wants, but there's no way you're going to be able to stash this guy in the minors for 2 more years. And then when he's 24, he'll be like, "Oh, I'm ready to go. Happy go lucky. Thanks for losing me." Like, he's losing multiple millions of dollars by just saying, "Yeah, I can stay in the minors for 2 more years." And which is exactly what's happening with Broberg right now. Like, dude, I don't want to stay in the minors for another year when I could have been making $4 million by another team. Because that's what's going to happen here. So the agent's going to push this too hard. They got to move him somehow, some way. Hopefully the team that's acquiring him has a contract that's lined up after the RFA year kicks in. So that would make a lot of sense. Some goaltending needy team. Maybe they can get away with sticking him in. Maybe the team acquiring him could get away with sticking him in the minors for a half year or something this upcoming year. But Nashville, it would be 2+ years, and that's not going to work.